We couldn't believe it. We really could not believe it. True Love and I talking about this adventure in the hill country. Can I call it the hill country? I'm actually reminiscing right now with all of you on the screen. Wow, I didn't realize I ate dark chocolate covered espresso beans in the morning. That always tastes, 2:50 a.m. That sounds kind of early. Interesting. Nice. So, that video eight years ago. Four kiddos ago. Michael was not born. We had Joseph and we had Seth. It just blows. So Bridget and I, True Love and I, we've been talking, plotting, planning, prepping. You can see the footage from the last couple of days in case you missed the last vlogs. And this, you know what's also interesting is to see the gear from 8 years ago. What I was using, nobody was sending me gear at that point, that's for sure. Now, we've got, $170 vests showing up from Solomon. So thank you, Solomon, and anybody else that has sent me, ultra running gear from the past, over the past 8 years. So the deal is this, Nolan's 14. We're going for it. All right, it's been 8 years. And why am I going for it? Listen, I love the Pikes Peak Marathon. I love the Pikes Peak Ascent. All right, I'll try and find a old bib number here there it is, from 2024, Pikes Peak, right there, all right? Pulled down a second place, but at the end of the day, I believe you don't want your running to become stale, ever. You want to continue to innovate, to challenge yourself, to have fun, F-U-N. You know how I'm always talking about fun in the studio. And so, let me just stick this back here so it stays in order. There we go. I am always seeking fun and adventure and inspiration. And so that's why we're going after this. It's an adventure. It's my hometown. You all know I grew up in BV, puny Buena Vista, and I'm so grateful that my parents chose to live there, to raise the family there, because I got to look out on the collegiate peaks. I got to look out on the Sawatch. I got to look out and go find adventure, in middle school, elementary school, but definitely in high school. Like my buddies and I, we would just go out and look for antlers. We would look for we just would go out into the woods and have fun in these very mountains on Nolan's 14. So it's my backyard. What are we looking at here? 100 miles? At least that's what the FKT website says. If you really dig into it, based on history, the times have gotten faster, of course, and I'll talk about the current FKT holder here in a second. But over time, and a big shout out to the folks of the 90s, all right? I love the 90s. I love the music of the 90s. I love the culture of the 90s. The older you get, the more you look back at your childhood and you're like, man, the 90s were actually, it was an okay time. And so, to all the guys and ladies who blazed the trail of Nolan's 14 before me, just a big, thank you. And for creating this thing, this line, this vision, this challenge in the Sawatch, which links 14 14ers. You all know what a 14er is at this point if you've been watching a long time. Colorado has 58 mountains that rise above 14,000 feet. So this line is 14 of those mountains that go above 14,000 feet, okay? And there just so happens to be between Salida, Colorado, our rival, and Leadville, Colorado, our rival. BV is in the middle of the Arkansas Valley. There's 14 peaks that go above 14,000 feet. Starting with Chavano. Should we just go through them as practice mentally for the what we're about to do here? Chavano and Tabaguach. Am I saying it right? Tabaguach. Chavano, Tabaguach, Antero, Princeton, Yale, Columbia, Harvard, Oxford, Belfort, Huron, La Plata, Elbert, massive, okay? And then back down to the fish hatchery if you're going south to north, which is what I will be doing, south to north. I'm not gonna go north to south this time. I'm gonna change it up because I've attempted this before. I'll try and find some footage, not sure I'll be able to. I've tried it twice actually. And the first time with my brother, great adventure. I think it was 2015, 2016, basically a decade ago. And then I tried it in 2018 or 17. What was it? Anyway, there it is on your screen. And I got lost on Mount Missouri, actually, in the middle of the night. So, Francois Dahon, he's from France. He flew over from France. And I would put Francois, I'll just say top 3. In my mind, he's a top 3 ultra runner in the world. Okay, I'm just putting it there. He's won UTMB, he's won Hard Rock, he has many of the big. I think he has the Pacific Crest Trail FKT as well. He is the real deal. So I was first initially interested in doing this again back in April or May. It was like right around then where I was like plotting out my summer of FKTs. I didn't know he was coming over. And so he lowered the FKT by 3.5 hours. Whoa, that's a huge drop, all right? And a big, of course, shout out to everybody who has tried it in the last 8 years since I've tried it. So Francois kind of came over and just like, boom, dropped it by 3.5. So now it's 35 hours and like 33 minutes. It's the real deal. It's not messing around. It's very fast. And at the end of the day, I wanted to change up my summer from, I'll just say, from training for Pikes Peak, because Pikes Peak is amazing. But again, if you just focus on the same goal every year, you might get a little tired of it. You might get a little stale. And I just knew that I needed a change up. I needed to try something different. And so that's what we're going for. Okay, that's what I've been alluding to for the last, I don't know, week on the YouTube channel. If you've been watching, that's what I've been packing for the last week on the YouTube channel. Come back tomorrow, and I will have all my gear laid out and also packed up because go time is rapidly approaching. And I'll just say, as of right now, the weather is looking quite nice for later in the week. Okay, so it's a big adventure, about 100 miles approximately, about 44,000 vertical feet ascent, all right, approximately, which means you also have to go back down, which is the harder part. And I'm just excited to give it another go. That's it. That's all. That's all we're doing here. Challenges, making sure we're keeping ourselves in check with joy, finding joy in your running. If you're not finding joy, what are we doing? What are we doing out here? Okay, so that's what I plan to do in the Swatch very, very soon. All right, we'll toss it to the last attempt 7 or 8 years ago. Okay, 2000. I think it was 2017. So that's 8 years ago. Oh my goodness, it's just so baffling to think about that. But where we go. All right, seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.